Okay, armchair detective time. Right, so we've got a Nicola Bulley from the UK. Lovely woman, perfect family, drops her beautiful children off at school in the morning, takes a dog for a walk, usual routine, goes to a local sort of beauty spot near a lake, walking a dog as she always does, sits on a bench, starts a conference call with work. Next thing you know, dog's running loose. The lead to the dog is on the bench, the phone's still on the bench, with a conference call still running, or, she hasn't logged out of it, she's still logged into the conference call, but there's no sign of her. And I've just heard tidbits on the radio here and there, and all you hear is, but the police don't think it's suspicious, and there's definitely no one else involved. Right, so first thing you'd think then, okay, so they must, if this Nicola Bulley's just a normal, everyday woman, she's obviously fallen in the river, yeah? If there's no one else involved, she's fallen in the river, so they got to find this body. It's obviously fallen in the river, that's the obvious thing. So here we go, they're having a good old search, police having a good old search around, having a good old kick of the bushes, these two, yep, yeah, yeah, oh, she's not in that bundle of twigs. Oh, foiled. Oh, well, best move on. Bloke with a clipboard there, right? Yeah, well, all right, bundle of twigs, no sign. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, it's all a bit strange, and she must have fallen in the river, but no one's actually looking in the river. They're just kicking, like, twigs around. Okay, so this is starting to sound a bit dodgy, isn't it? Right, yeah, so first things first in this case, what do you think? You think family, don't you? So let's have a look. Let's see her family, shall we? Now, there was an interview of a family. Let's have a look at it. Here we go. Here's a family here, yeah? Now, I did watch a bit of this interview before, yeah? Now, so that's the sister there on the left, the dad, the mum. Apart from the odd, like, little glance here and there, you don't know how this story's going to develop, but these people do look as confused and as shocked as we all are. They look like they're trying to hold it together. They look like decent everyday people. All right, there's a brick wall behind them. Yeah, that's all Masonic, this, that, and the other. Yeah, but I've got to say, from first impressions, from what I've seen in this interview, they seem genuine, and they seem confused, and they seem like they're trying to hold it together. They seem like decent people. They're at pains to say how much the police are doing and how brilliant they've been, but at the end of the day, no one's got a clue. This happened, I think we're going back a few days now, by the time, maybe, I don't know, a couple of days when this was filmed. So she's just vanished off the face of the earth. No one knows where she's gone. She just seems to have disappeared. There doesn't seem to be any real search apart from, in the twigs and a little bit in the undergrowth. All seems a little bit dodgy, like there's something else that we don't know about. So what's the next thing we do as an armchair detective? Any armchair detective now worth his salt, they're going to go straight to the YouTube comments, right? Let's have a look. She's 100% in the water, sadly, in my opinion. Well, if she's in the water, why are they looking around the little twigs and stuff? Yeah, they're not searching in the water. You would have thought they'd have teams, like all the local farmers, all the local divers, all the local police. They'd be in that water. And plus, it's a bit soggy and wet out there. If you just, there's an explanation for a fall in the water. Something went near the water. She just, she was trying to rescue a duck or something. She slips, but you don't just like plonk in the water and disappear. If you slip and you try and stop yourself from slipping. You try and grab onto something. You dig your heels in and you slip down, and it's all a bit, it's all a bit embarrassing and thinking, and you plonk in the water, and then you're screaming and this, that, and the other. And the other thing is, it's not like these places are in the middle of nowhere. It's like I live in the sticks. You drop your kids off at school, you go for a walk, try and have a little zoo or something on the way, or whatever. You see about 1 million people, all dog walkers, all nosy, all milling about, looking at each other. You're not in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so yeah, can't stop thinking about this lady, blah blah blah, prayers. Yeah, but question it. It's good praying. You got to question these things. This could happen to your blooming daughter or wife or whatever. Yeah, nothing said, no context. Great reporting. Exactly. Apparently an article said a mountain rescue team helped search the grounds, but they didn't go in. Quick look around. Happy outcome. She could have slipped in the water. Yeah, Could have done, yeah. She must have known she could be true. Yeah, they're sort of saying as if she's just wanted to, and that's another explanation. She just wanted to disappear. But it's a bit of, you can disappear without just leaving your dog stranded. It's a bit dramatic. And now we don't know anything about it. She could be going through a hard time. She could be, there's the other question, isn't there? Who we haven't seen now. I'm waiting for the comments. Surely someone's going to mention at some point the partner or husband, because I think she is married. She's got a couple of kids. He wasn't at that interview. I have a terrible feeling about this, yeah. A similar case in York years ago. Yeah, it does seem, I know what you're talking about. What's her name? I can't remember. Sorry about that. I don't mean to disrespect her, but, I don't want to treat these things like fodder, but the media treat them like fodder and treat everyone like fools, and the parents must be going out their minds, and the system must be going crazy, and everyone's just, and they must be saying, well, what are you doing? Why are you getting us to support these, say the police are doing a great job, and you're showing them looking at twigs and stuff? It's just ridiculous, and everyone's scratching their head and doesn't know what, blah blah blah. A sad tale. Yeah, it's sad, of course it's sad, but the police have ruled out any sort of foul play, so yeah, comments aren't really going anywhere. There's no, she's defo been taken by the looks of things. Yeah, it could be, or she's dead, right? That's a bit pessimistic, and where's your evidence? But yeah, slipped. Yeah, no evidence to say she slipped in. Yeah, the police don't want to investigate to end up being somebody from the local hotels. All right, local hotels. Right, okay. So what they're trying to say there? Who stays in hotels? Yeah. What's the odds it was a copper? I'll give you even money. Dinghy diver, just like a dinghy diver killed Julia James when she was walking her dog too in the woods. Right, well, the police have definitely said that it's definitely not anybody else. Right, yeah, so now let's go over exactly the timeline, yeah? But I'm going to get this bint to do it. I can't be bothered to do it, so let's see if we can get this bint to do it.
We know about Nicola Bulley's last movements.
Yeah, tell us what you know.
Early last Friday morning after driving 10 minutes from her home in Inskip to the nearby village of St Michael's on Wyre.
Right.
She dropped her children off at school before heading down Garstang Road with her dog Willow.
Yeah, Willow.
There she began her walk around the river at around 8:43 a.m. At about 8:50 she was seen in the lower field, and it was around this time that a woman wearing a red coat was also seen, and police asked her to come forward.
I told you, there's, even in the middle of nowhere like this, there's loads of people around.
Nicola sent an email to her boss at 8:53 a.m. At 9:01 she logged into a Teams call. And then about 9 minutes later, a witness who knows Nicola saw her on the upper field, still with her dog Willow.
Okay, so who was that? So someone she knows is in the area. So like I say, it's not
logged on.
She was still
Nicola's
logged
mobile
on.
phone and Willow were found at a bench by the river by another dog walker at about 9:35 a.m. So it's exactly this time a week ago that Nicola went missing.
Right, so
some of her friends are now on the route that she's known to have taken, and Sky's Fraser Ward is there in St Michael's on Wyre for us this morning. So Fraser, explain to us what's going to happen then this morning.
Right, yeah, so he's going to explain what happened this morning. I mean, it's like, it's been a week, yeah? It's been a week. So let's see what these comments are saying now. I mean, we're talking 2 hours ago, so this is a week. Has the police used search dogs? They're usually very helpful. Well, if they haven't, they're stupid, aren't they? She's found such a strange case. Was the dog found tied to anything? I don't believe it was. I've had several dogs. I know dogs would follow me. Yeah, that's the thing. Was the dog distressed? I mean, you'd think if it saw its owner just like stumble into the river and be washed away, it'd be a bit like confused. She's got to be in the water. Yeah, but then you're not looking far. If she's fallen in the water, it's right near the bench. She wouldn't have gone like a 5-minute walk and then fallen in the water. So you're looking around the bench. There'd be evidence. You could say, yep, look, she's fallen in here. The top forensic minds would be able to do it, at least, if not me. Yeah, that interview with her partner seemed very off. Right, here we go. Yeah, so here we go. We're getting into the partner business. Right, before I ever saw the interview, did he push her in, abduct her, is a question. He knows the area well. Yeah. He had seam off as well. Yeah, well, that's the excuse, isn't it? I haven't seen the partner yet, but, it's obviously he's in the same boat. If he's innocent, then your missus just vanishes in thin air. You're going to be a bit off, but there's being off and there's being off. And we shall find out in a minute if he's off or if he's off. You know what I mean? Probably got accosted, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget the interview is edited. That's true. But, you know, usually unedited versions are even worse. Boyfriend seems like, now this could just be man-hating, you know, toxic masculinity stuff. I mean, you know, we don't know anything about the boyfriend, the partner, or whatever. You know, she's either run away, some affair, suicide, maybe she had debt or a bad marriage, drug addict, or spouse is responsible. Right, okay, she's either run away with some affair. Now, if you were going to do that, you wouldn't just leave your phone on the bench and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, she could be in a dodgy affair, and that person has then abducted her. That's possible, but that doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, suicide. Maybe she had bad debt, bad marriage. Yeah, well, you can investigate that. Yeah, that's likely, but again, how can you kill yourself and leave no trace, and why would you do it in such a way? Yeah, drug addict, well, we don't know anything about that, but I mean, drug addicts, I mean, she's a mortgage advisor, she's just dropped her kids off from school, she's walking a dog, she does a daily routine, so she's not, unless she's been bumped off by someone she can't pay. Spouse is responsible. Well, that's always our first place to look, but like I said, we don't know, do we? Let's have a look. My friends will celebrate the death of anyone. Not celebrating, but it's all about the fact that there is obviously something tragic happened, and we're supposed to, follow the narrative of, oh, isn't this tragic? And we feel so terrible for the family, and what if it was one of ours, and this, that, and the other, and of course that is the emotion. So then when we just fed images of coppers kicking around a few twigs and no explanation, everything ruled out, and there's mention of like a hotel nearby, I think someone said like a camping site or a local thing, and it's like, it's kind of like, I think we need to see an interview with the partner, yeah, because the comments ain't telling us much. This is a week down the line, and basically nothing's happened. Like, let's check this out. Let's watch this.
I don't really have anything to say other than what the family said yesterday. My whole focus is on two girls, just staying as strong as I can for them. I'm scared that if I put any focus into anything else, it's going to take my focus off that. So I've got to be very careful. Just hoping to goodness that anything comes out from the interview yesterday, no matter how tiny. Just say a massive thank you to the community, friends, for everything that they're doing. It's absolutely incredible. I just can't believe that we're a week on, and as yet, it seems like we're no further on. It just seems absolutely impossible. It's like a dream. Cannot get my head around any of it.
I mean, you're left sort of trying to make sense of the census on you. It is just such a mystery.
Yeah, it is. There's just every single scenario comes to a brick wall. Every single one of them, and then all we're doing is sitting there going round and round and round, going through every scenario, and then go back to the first scenario again and do the whole thing again, and then it's just all day long. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing.
How are you coping? It must be so difficult. Like you say, your focus is on the girls, and it has to be. But yeah, it must be so difficult.
I don't know how I'm coping. I don't even want to actually think about that. Just focus, just like I say, it's just about the girls, that's it. I'm there for them. I don't want to really elaborate on that. I don't want to take my eye off that.
It must be heartwarming to see the public response. Hundreds of people trying to help.
It's amazing. It is. Right now, it's the only thing that we can take is, that level of support is out of this world. It gives us a great amount of comfort, knowing that that's going on. They don't have anything else, do we?
Well, there's hope.
We're never ever going to lose the hope. Of course we're not. But right now, it is as though she has vanished into thin air. Like, yeah, just insane.
Yeah, so now, first impressions of the boyfriend. Now, I've got to say again, I might be naive, but he seems quite like a decent bloke now. And, you know, he seems, again, a bit like the rest of the family, just a bit confused about what could have happened. Now, he said a couple of strange things. First of all, he said it's like a dream. Now, if I thought it was dodgy, yeah, then it's sort of like he's talking about the community getting together and they're all just doing that and it's like a dream. I would say, yeah, it's like a dream, like what do you call it? Jupiter's delight, you know what I mean? It's a dream, like I'm getting away with it, you know, but it looks more like his head's in a spin. And like he says, they're going through all scenarios, but they're not going through all scenarios. The official scenario that anyone's ever heard is that there's nothing to see here. She's just vanished, but nobody else is definitely involved. And they want to speak to a couple of eyewitnesses that definitely saw her. And it's like, I mean, of course, behind closed doors, they could be, going through all scenarios. I'm not talking about the family now. I'm talking about the police. You know, the family can't do anything. They're just saying, I just feel like they're just being fed a load of crap by the police and they got to trust them. But it's like, so either the family are really dodgy, which it doesn't seem, or they're which they seem like the most normal, actual, decent kind of family. It seems first impressions. It's just completely first impressions, but they seem like a decent, normal family that are all of a sudden caught up in something that they didn't expect to be caught up in, and they're not quite expecting, you know, let's say, corruption, etc., etc., and they're just following the lead, and each day's going by, and they're being fobbed off, and they just can't believe it, and they can see a big fuss. The community are making a fuss, the media are making a fuss. There's a big fuss around them, and nothing's being done. You got a few coppers, going for a few twigs. I mean, at the very least, with it being so public, you'd have all the sort of divers and firemen and all that going down all the stretch of river, and they'd be, going through it, ploughing through it, just to show the public that something's happened, even if they were thinking it's something else. So at this stage, I've got to say, he does seem all right, and you got to feel for him. He's talking about his two girls and the way he's got to hold it together for them, and it does seem genuine. Like, he doesn't know what's going on, he can't cope, and if he really thinks about it, he'll really collapse. And that's the impression I got from the rest of the family. So I don't think he's dodgy at all at this stage. So what have we got? Yeah, we've got a very strange case, and I would say it's either she is into something that no one could imagine and got in too deep and just somehow, but that doesn't seem likely. It seems most likely that she's been abducted, and in which case who? And then you got to say, well, someone said in the comments before, hotel, this, that, and the other, some dodgy characters knocking about. Yeah, it could be one of them. We know how they get protected. Or could it be one of the boys in blue? Yeah, we don't know. I'm going to have a look more about this case, and I'll get back to you.